Hello everyone, my name is Robin and RWBY Volume 10 is greenlit. It's happened. In other words, the show has secured a budget and production necessary to continue, to actually move forward and get made. This is a concrete step forward for the future of the show, the IP, etc. Carrie Shawcross and company broke this news alongside the Viz Media Anime panel at Anime Expo 2026. And yes, this is different from the announcements they have made in the past, particularly last year. I've seen some confusion. Isn't this a rehash of last year's news? So let me clarify how it is not, how this is a concrete step forward. Last year, they said Volume 10 was, quote, super deep into early writing and planning, end quote. That is the step before a green light, before getting money and people to actually make the thing. In order for money to be put forward, there needs to be a metric for how much is actually needed, and that can change drastically depending on what is in the vision of the production. For example, in an early outline for RWBY Volume 8, most of the budget was used by Episode 3. So in other words, maybe half of their vision for Volume 8 could get made, and they had to revise that vision until they had something they could fully make. To put that into context for greenlighting Volume 10, they have secured a future for their vision. The fact is, RWBY Volume 10 is going to be made. Eddie Rivas has confirmed he will remain the lead writer for the show, with Carrie Shawcross, Miles Luna, and Kiersey Burkhart also retaining their roles as per a recent tweet. Of course, RWBY Volume 10 is still a long ways off. RWBY was a yearly release when it first began, but that was unsustainable long term. The earliest reasonable expectation for Volume 10's release is now maybe 2028, and that still might be pushing it, we don't know. And there's certainly a discussion to be had about the long hiatus between Volumes 9 and 10 being unable to keep enough interest in the show going, especially after Volume 9 suffered its own delays. Delays which, as a reminder, were a result of the Volume 9 production, not anything to do with those two Justice League crossover movies, for those who might not be aware even still. A deeper look into the production of Volume 9 in those movies might actually reveal that they helped Volume 9 rather than hurt it, which I've already discussed in a previous video, so I'm not going to rehash that here. And that's how it goes. RWBY Volume 10 is now greenlit. Thank you for watching. I do admit I haven't had as much of a drive to cover the news over the last couple of months, even as things were clearly ramping up, because I've been juggling a lot in my personal life as of late. Recent health scares. Sometimes your liver hates you, even though you've been very good to it. It's not life-threatening, don't worry. Anyway, it's all been super draining. But as I've always said, I'm going to stick around for RWBY and be there for whatever comes next, whenever it happens to be. Which is looking, again, like 2028 at the very earliest. But hey, we carry on. I'm actually traveling this week to see friends I haven't seen since RTX of 2023. We still find ways to come together even as that previous meeting point is gone. We keep moving forward, and so does RWBY. As always, check the description for all my links and sources. They are all there. And for more RWBY news as RWBY Volume 10 moves along and we get a trailer and a release window and a release date, all things we can expect to happen now, please like and subscribe as I continue making RWBY videos. You'll be there as they drop. I'll see you next time. I'm Robin Rising. Have a good one.